Hello, my name is Danielle and I'm going to be demonstrating how to transfer bacteria from one medium to another using aseptic technique. So first I'm going to disinfect my workspace. Disinfectant here, just spray it down and take my paper towel and make sure that I wipe it nice and clean. Then I'm going to turn on my micro incinerator here and make sure that it's running for at least 10 minutes till it's nice and bright orange and piping hot. So first I'm going to demonstrate how to transfer from one petri dish and make a fresh culture in another petri dish. So first I take my inoculating loop and I place it into my micro incinerator, making sure to place the entire metal tip in there and hold it in there for at least 10 seconds till it's nice and piping hot. Then I take it out and I let it cool for at least a minute. So now that it's cool, I'm going to take my bacterial sample, open the petri dish like a clamshell just a little bit, holding my inoculating loop like a pencil. At a downward angle, I'm just gonna scrape it across and just get the teensiest of samples onto my loop. Then I'll take my new petri dish with the fresh agar, once again opening it like a clamshell, hold my inoculating loop, downward angle, like a pencil, and just kind of skim it across in a straight streak. Making sure not to press too hard and dig into the agar. Then I'm going to put my inoculating loop into the micro sterilizer and sterilize it again for another 10 seconds. Then I'm going to take it out and let it cool. Then I'm going to place my new bacteria sample culture into the incubator, making sure that I put it lid down, so that if any condensation forms along the lid, the droplets don't end up in my new culture. So store that. Next, I'm going to demonstrate how to create a sample from a petri dish to a test tube with fresh broth. This is my test tube holder here. Take my inoculating loop and I sterilize it for 10 seconds in my micro incinerator. Then I take it out, make sure that it's nice and cool. Once it is cool, I open up my sample like a clamshell, hold my inoculating loop at a downward angle like a pencil, and then just skim a teensy little sample onto my loop. Then I take my test tube of fresh broth, I use my pinky and kind of wrap it around and just pop that lid off. Then I hold my lip of my test tube there at the micro incinerator for at least 3 seconds to kill any bacteria. Then I put my inoculating loop here and I hold it between my thumb and forefinger and just kind of swirl it around. Then I put the lid back on, store it in my test tube holder. Then I sterilize my inoculating loop again for another 10 seconds. And then I let it cool. Lastly, I will show how to transfer bacteria from an existing broth to a fresh broth. So first, take my inoculating loop, sterilize it for 10 seconds. It's nice and piping hot. I let it cool. Take my test tube with my bacteria sample in the broth. I just kind of flick the bottom here a couple times, make sure to get it nice and mixed, hoping for a funnel kind of spinning formation to get it really mixed. I take my pinky and I just wrap it around and I just pop off the lid. Then I take my inoculating loop and I stick it in there and just kind of swirl it a little bit and get a sample. Then I, once again, put the lid there, make sure to kill any bacteria that might have gotten on there from the air. Then I put the lid back on. Then I take my test tube with fresh broth, do that pinky trick again, pop the lid off, hold the lip there for 3 seconds, the micro incinerator, kill any bacteria. Take my sample, put in my new tube, hold it between my forefinger and thumb and just kind of swirl it around like so. Then I hold the lip there, another 3 seconds, kill anything that might have gotten in there. And I put the lid back on. And then I make sure to label and store it properly. Then I will sterilize my inoculating tube, loop for another 10 seconds, and then let it cool. Once I'm all finished and I have properly put everything away and made sure that I turned off my micro incinerator so it'll cool down, I finish off by once again disinfecting and cleaning off my workspace. And that is transferring bacteria from one medium to another using aseptic technique.